Now we're off to an auction at Tom and Rachel Ferguson's hill country property at Dalethorpe near Sheffield. When Cosmo Kentish-Barnes turned up, Tom was busy in the yards, so he nabbed Tom's father Gary to find out what's on offer.
We're weaning all the ewes and having an on-farm sale. So, we're selling everything. Some lambs will be killable and some lambs will be stores, and with a bit of luck, someone will come up and buy them.
Is this a sale that you hold every year?
Yeah, every year, and we're combined with a couple of properties over at Springfield to make it worthwhile for the buyers to come. So we're just selling 3,000 lambs, and Brookesdale over at Springfield have 4,000, and then there's another place might have 2,500.
Tell me about the farm here.
My old man come back from the Second World War and got a block, and I'm the second generation, and I added to a bit, and then my son's added to it a bit, so now it's 860 hectares.
Have you changed the farm since you've been here? Have you made any adjustments to it?
No, all I've done is planted shelter, just planted shelter and broke a wee bit of country in, and it's just a foothills property, third steep hill, third medium hill and a third flat.
Yes.
And a 40-inch rainfall, and run by people who like a quiet life.
The farm is at the end of the road.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anyone who comes up here is either an idiot or lost.
So if you carried on up the valley here, where would you end up?
Well, if you go into a property next door, you end up at the headwaters of the Hawkins, where it starts, or if you veer slightly left, you'll end up at the headwaters of the Selwyn, north branch of the Selwyn. And we actually mountain bike around the sheep quite a bit because we hate noise and we don't like motorbikes and stuff.
And talking about biking, you yourself are a former world time trial champion.
Well, I just waited till I was 70 till all the opposition were dead, and then it was much easier to win.
So you were representing New Zealand?
Yeah. I'd been competing a couple of times in a younger age group, and I think the best I got was 5th, so I knew I was in with a rough chance.
Where has your cycling taken you?
Well, that took me to Poland, but France, Austria, Spain, well, Australia, of course, everywhere really, yeah.
And did COVID put a stop to that?
Next year I was going to defend my title in Canada, but that put an end to that, yeah.
So are you still planning to go to the World Champs?
Yeah, well, not this year coming, but maybe the next year I would if I'm still alive. Yeah, because it's a bit funny, the World Champs. They only let you compete if you're alive.
And so when did you hand the reins over to Tom, your son?
I can't remember. That would be 15, 20 years ago, I suppose. Yeah, he was a stock agent, and then he come home, so I had all the accounts in a sugar bag, so I just handed it to him.
Nice and easy.
Yeah. I'm really pleased because the age of computers arrived, and oh God, I'd rather be digging a post hole than doing that. So, do I yell out to Tom and get him to come back here to finish this off? Tom, come here. Normally you'd say, bugger off, you silly old.
Hi, Tom. How many farmers are you expecting to turn up today?
Oh, well, it's a bit of a lottery, really, but yeah, depends what they're up to and if they get out of bed or not. They're not still on holiday, but yeah, sometimes you get a crowd here of 40, 50, but a lot of people were gawkers and go for a look around in the car. And yeah.
And so what sort of lambs have you got?
We're Romney, crossbred lamb, North Island bred. So we've got some whoppers down there that'll kill out at 22, 23 Ks. They're good lambs, they'll be 50 Ks sort of thing, and then we're down to probably the small lambs at around about 23 or 4, 5 Ks.
Why do you sell them now in the middle of summer?
Yeah, well, it's just we've got an irrigation up here, and if it gets dry, I like to put more of my grass into my ewe lambs for next year and my ewes for the following year. So we just hope that the cropping farmers they're ready to get a bit of harvest off, and they want to stock up with lambs, and hopefully half the lambs here will go to the freezing works.
The bigger ones go to the freezing works, and the smaller ones will be holding?
Yeah, they'll go around Canterbury and
holding lambs.
Yep, and there's good forward stores there that someone will be able to take home in 6 weeks. They'll be able to make, when they're down there in the country in the irrigation, they'll be able to make whoppers out of them in no times.
And are prices holding up at the moment for lambs? I mean, what are you expecting to get?
Lamb prices bloody awful to be fair. So last year I averaged 107. Yeah, I'll be lucky if I do 90 this year, I'd say. Year before might have been 127. Yeah. So we've come down a lot. And I've just got to take it and carry on for next year. So, I mean, it's not going to be brilliant. We'll lose money this year, but anyway.
So you'll lose money from these lambs?
Well, in the end of our financial year, yeah, we will. Yep.
And tell me about the wool clip.
Well, we obviously shear our ewes and shear our ewe lambs and that, but last year I think it was going to be $1.40. Okay, so it doesn't really pay for the shearers now. No.
It looks like it's really nice wool.
Beautiful wool. Yeah. Yep. Just a shame that no one's invented anything to do anything with, because we love nylon carpet, apparently.
What's the micron of these
we're reasonably strong here. It's probably the ewes are 36-7 micron, and the lambs will be 29 probably micron. So I sell it to a private buyer there, and he auctions it. A lot of it goes to England and India, and yeah, it's a real byproduct now. Yes. Yeah, it's a real shame because it is good quality product, and there's nothing more green about that. But it is what it is. I'm not going to. Don't know what I can do to change it. But
so are sheep your main income here?
Yeah. Yep. Got to have cattle to clean up the rough stuff. So a few cattle, but mainly sheep. Yeah.
And what else is happening on farm at the moment?
Oh, so this is the major, and then tomorrow I'll get my old ewes in and I'll mouth them out because it's too cold up here in the winter, so we keep our flock young, so I'll mouth out the 5-year-old ewes, and the ones with a good mouth will go down to Sheffield Ewe Fair in 3 weeks' time.
Mouthing means checking the condition of a ewe's teeth to determine her age. Now, leaning over a pen is Greg Shearer, a livestock agent from Fairlie in South Canterbury.
I've got clients who are after the heavier end lamb, and also got clients that are looking for sort of like a 25 kilo lamb, something to take through. Yeah.
Ideally, how many lambs would you like to buy today?
About a unit load, and the type of lamb I'm after, it's equivalent to about 1,000.
What are your first impressions?
The lambs are good, young, healthy lambs. But I've got buyers that don't want ram lambs or crips, so there's a few ram lambs up there, so they're probably not a lamb that suits me, but they are tidy lambs, yeah.
Yes. The lambs have been put into different pens. Is it based on weight?
Yes, size, which is weight. Size is weight. So they've been high drafted. So if you look at them from the top pen up the top, there's a variance all the way down.
They're quite calm lambs, these, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Like they're probably ready to be weaned. Yeah.
Now the auction is just about to start, and utes are still rolling into the farmyard.
Right, come on everybody, down to pen 1. Right, there we go. There's the cream of the crop, pen 1. 87 booming lambs, caught beautifully. Put your hand on those, eh? They've got a real loin to the nose. Right, you might have those, they're 128 on those, 28, 25, and away we go. 120, who's got it? I got 14 to start them. I got 14 now. Up at 14, that'll be 14, that'll be 14, that'll be 14, 16. I got 16, that'll be for them. Up 18. I got 18 now. 18, that'll be 18, 19, 19. 19, that'll be for them. Up at 19, done.
Hazlitt stock agent Phil Manera is today's auctioneer.
I've been with Hazlitt Limited for 13 years, and I service the Melbourne, Darfield, West Melton districts. We're having an on-farm lamb sale here today for Tom and Rachel Ferguson at Baldoon. It's an annual sale. It's been happening for about 14 years, I think. So we weans his lambs this morning, and we draft them all up and size them up, and they get penned up and advertised, and hopefully repeat buyers come and have a bit of a competition and buy some good well-bred lambs. But yeah, he does a good job. He presents them well. They're all crutched and nice and healthy, and yeah, spends a bit of money on genetics and produces something that people want: fast-growing, nice, healthy lambs. Yeah.
Do you think Tom will be happy with the prices achieved today?
No, probably not. But he's a realist, and the prices aren't as good as they were last year, and unfortunately that's the way markets go. They go up and they go down, and it's nothing new to him. He's been farming all his life, and he just produces as many lambs as he can to a high standard, and yeah, he doesn't set the market or the price on the day, unfortunately, and I don't either, but we try and get our best for our vendors. But you know, prime lambs are under $6 a kilo now, so it is a bit of a tough go at the moment, but they're a resilient lot, these farmers. They're good at what they do, and they'll stay positive and get stuck in and carry on, hopefully.
On the other side of the sheep yards is the old shearing shed. Inside are several woolen bales, a wool press and some retro armchairs that have seated many a shearer. Tom's mum Pat is getting some refreshments ready.
We've had some good times in here, and we've worked very, very hard in here also.
And this is where you make the tea and coffee, and you've got some food put on
For the agents.
For the agents.
They just have a thank you sort of thing, and so they can have sandwiches and that with their beers, which is important.
Tell me about your background. How long have you been farming?
Well, I was brought up on a farm in Port Levy. My dad bought the farm in 1936, and he never got married to his 50s, so he was quite old when I was born. And so I was brought up in Port Levy, and I went to school in Christchurch. Then I married Gary in 73, and I've been out here ever since. So I've always been on a farm.
Now, towering above us here in the woolshed is a very old stag's head. Tell me about that.
Yes, well, my dad shot that. Before he bought the farm in Port Levy, he was a rabbiter and deer culler, and that's how he got the money to buy his farm in Port Levy. And that he shot that. He had two of them originally, and I got one and my brother got one, and he shot it and mounted everything himself. And Dad would be 124 years this year, so he would have been in his 20s, so it's 100 years old, isn't it?
Still keeping watch over what happens here in the woolshed.
Yeah, the eyes are falling out there.
With the auction now over, Tom and Gary get the yards ready for the stock trucks that will pick up the sold lambs after lunch. Tom, not a huge turnout.
No, not a huge turnout. No. As long as there's more than one, I suppose, to make it an auction.
I guess people are all feeling the squeeze a bit.
And uncertainty of where the lamb price is going to go to, I suppose. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough year. Yep. Do you want to talk to the bank manager or me?
You had predicted that you weren't
Yeah,
going
I
to
knew
get
it was going to be bad. I mean, it is
great
what it is.
prices.
The schedule's low, and it's just sheep farming as we know it at the moment. So anyway, we're at full clearance, so they went, and yeah. A lot of uncertainty out there, and especially if it doesn't rain again. And yeah.
What do you love about farming? What keeps you here?
Oh, I just like the lifestyle and the fact that I'm my own boss, and we do what it's our own choice, our own freedom, what we want to do on the farm, apart from the regulations, obviously. And you're out in fresh air, and I've got no one really annoying me. And I don't know many sheep farmers that actually do it to get rich. It's a thing that we just do and enjoy, but we do need a bit more income to keep us going. You know, there's the amount of people now that wives are all off working off farm and all that, and I do extra work myself just to get a bit of pocket money, and so it's not all beer and skittles here.
What do you do off farm?
I work over the local sale yards. Every week I go and do a day over there sorting sheep out and that, and it gets me off the farm so I don't go mad, see other people and have a yarn. Yeah. Kids are all old enough now, and they seem to be ready. You have to spend a bit more money on them, so money's got to come from somewhere.
You can say that again. Tom Ferguson at the lamb auction that was held on his farm last week. Cosmo was also talking to his mum and dad, Gary and Pat, and livestock agents Greg Shearer and Phil Manera. To see photos and videos from the day, go to the Country Life webpage.